I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
There's nothing like a good one-liner before that final blow. Better yet, a good bad one-liner. Believe it or not, there's a lot of dimension to an action movie one-liner. A good pun goes a long way.
You're fired.
Or even just some baffling nonsense will stick with viewers.
Garbage day!
Is that a question? A declaration? Yeah, I know, I'm taking out the trash right now. What makes one-liners so good? How does an actor thread the needle between laughable and awesome? Let's be real, the best ones barely thread that needle. Right now, we're gonna line up 25 of our favorites. Like most of the movies on this list, try not to overthink it. Just let us know if we missed your favorite one-liner. Drop us a line in the comments below.
Court's adjourned.
You believe in Jesus? Well, you're gonna meet him.
Dying ain't much of a living, boy.
Before we get to the list proper, I want to bring up a couple of tropes for easy one-liners, in case you're stuck on your action movie screenplay. Some tropes include telling someone they have a flight to catch.
And you have a flight to catch. Huh?
Saying any variation of go to hell.
Say hi to mommy. In hell!
Go to hell and take your friends with you!
And really, just any kind of pun.
That's it. No more Mr. Knife Guy.
Bonus points if that pun barely has anything to do with the larger context of the scene and or movie. And if you're feeling extra lazy, just have your character say sayonara.
Sayonara.
Hope that helps. Anyways, let's count these down. Number 25.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
That's kind of a really powerful proverb. It's provocative. Think about it, it's true. I'm gonna tell that one to my kids. According to writer David Goyer, this line came directly from the brilliant mind of Wesley Snipes. This is why I'll never be as cool as Snipes. If I fought a vampire, I'd say something basic like suck on this. It takes some ice cold charisma to confidently drop some nonsense like this before going in on the kill. Number 24.
Do you know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else.
Yeah, I sure hope it does. But be honest, when Storm asked this question, she kinda got you to wonder, what does happen when a toad is struck by lightning? I figured she knew something I didn't about toads and lightning. This line was famously written by Joss Whedon, creator of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and director of the first two Avengers movies. Makes me feel a little better about some of the dud lines I've written before. I think it's the weight behind Halle Berry's delivery that makes this one extra special. It's like she's about to drop some profound knowledge when, on paper, this was probably written as a throwaway joke. Number 23.
Do you like the Elton John song Rocket Man?
I don't like soft ass shit.
Oh, you don't? Well, I only bring it up because, it's you. You're the Rocket Man.
This one is great because of how much setup it takes for him to get to the point. Why are you bringing up Elton John? Just for that? You could have just gone with a simple sayonara and been done with it. This one-liner only works because of Nick Cage's usual unhinged delivery. Number 22.
Time to face destiny.
Time to face gravity!
Got him!
Bond has always had a way with words. Simple and to the point, so you gotta respect it. Number 21.
Take a giant step for mankind.
I'll try not to include too many Bond quotes here, but come on. This one never gets old. We could do a whole list of Bond quotes before and after the kill. He's always got the perfect thing to say, even if no one is around to hear it.
They'll print anything these days.
Number 20.
We're friends to the end, remember?
This is the end, friend.
Can you even imagine being this sharp and witty as a kid in a life or death situation? That's some cold-hearted shit to say to your enemy, and damn is it satisfying. And this isn't just a quick kill. Chucky's about to get burned to death, so he's gotta sit there in agony for a minute while he thinks about how this little toddler just outsmarted him. Number 19.
Your disease, and I'm the cure.
With the sunglasses and the nonchalant underhand knife throw, Stallone has never looked cooler. Okay, well maybe he has, but he's always looking cool. This is the kind of one-liner we just don't see much of anymore. There's no point, and it doesn't make any more sense within the context of the scene. It's just a cherry on top of a badass moment. Number 18.
I have had enough of you!
Love the way Kirk punctuates this one-liner with several kicks to the head. Every hack with a Shatner impression does the dramatic pauses, but these are more like violent pauses. You know this one is powerful because of the way it made Krug float away from the cliff's edge, instead of just falling straight down. Ever been one-linered so hard you just float away? Number 17.
You once were a vegan, but now you will be gone.
Be gone.
Most of the time, when you stretch too hard to make a pun, it doesn't land. But when a movie character is as self-aware as Scott Pilgrim, I gotta say, it just works. This one is definitely played for laughs, but let's be real, so is any good one-liner. It's also just satisfying to watch this holier-than-thou evil ex get blown into a pile of Canadian coins. Number 16.
Dodge this.
Oh, Trinity is so cool. The bullet time dodge is obviously iconic and a bit of an ancient meme at this point. But that bullet doesn't have much distance to travel at point blank. Yes, a second ago we did see the agent move pretty quickly, so maybe he could have dodged it in the time Trinity took to hold the gun against his head. There's a full 2 seconds of time to react, which is an eternity in slow-mo. I like to imagine her badass one-liner caught the agent so off guard that he fumbled his dodge. Number 15.
No man can kill me.
I am no man.
More than just a cool one-liner, this is also a great loophole. There's nothing like defeating your enemy on a technicality.
You are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
Just like that, Glorfindel's prophecy is fulfilled. Number 14.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
John McClane's signature catchphrase. The phrase yippee-ki-yay harkens back to actor Roy Rogers, who played a cowboy in the 1940s.
Yippee-ki-yo-ki-yay.
Seems pretty tame in its original context, but what's John McClane if not a modern-day cowboy? Number 13.
Get off my plane.
I've always loved Harrison Ford being a badass.
Yes, I bet you have.
I was torn between including something from Indiana Jones or Star Wars, but to me, this line from Air Force One is the best of Harrison Ford's one-liners. Number 12.
I'm gonna make this pencil disappear.
This could be my bias because I saw this in theaters as a 10-year-old and this moment made me jump and laugh at the same time. One of those rare scare laughs for me. And what's more Joker than that? Number 11.
Shall not pass!
Okay, we're getting into the pop culture icon section of the list. It's safe to say that most of the upcoming ones have had a pretty big impact and been referenced or parodied a lot. Interestingly enough, the movie version of this line that we all know and love is a slightly rephrased line from the book. In the book, Gandalf proclaims you cannot pass. I like the change from cannot to shall not. That one word makes it clear that Gandalf will not let the Balrog pass, rather than just saying it's impossible. Pretty badass to stop this beast. Number 10.
Swallow this.
So everything Ash Williams says is iconic, but this is easily my favorite of his one-liners. Good luck swallowing souls with all that shrapnel in your face. Number 9.
Smile, you son of a...
And with all those teeth, that shark does have a beautiful smile. I think it's especially cool that the killing blow censored the last word of this one-liner. It gives the delivery an, explosive punch. It's pretty ironic that the language is censored by a bunch of exploding blood and guts. Number 8.
I am Iron Man.
Is this the best bookend to any superhero's story arc? Probably. It was already an iconic line before this moment, but it hits so much harder right before Tony's snap. It's a powerful phrase with a whole new meaning in the context of Endgame. What a way to save the world. We love you 3000, Tony. Number 7.
I'll be back.
This line alone is basically the reason why everything Arnold said for some time was iconic and quoted over and over again. His delivery is so weird and stilted, and so everyone and their grandma uses it as the base for their Arnold impression. It's not a clever pun, it's not even badass on paper, it's all in the delivery. It's pure Arnie. Back when they were shooting this, Arnold actually tried to convince James Cameron to change the line to "I will be back," because "I'll" was hard for him to pronounce with his accent. But that pronunciation is exactly what made this moment so iconic. Number 6.
Say hello to my little friend!
This line has been repeated to death at this point, and Scarface is a bit of a college boy meme. If you've been around long enough, you've probably heard several dudes tell you this is their favorite movie. Even if you haven't seen it, you've heard the line. But all that aside, all that baggage out of the way, watching the movie and hearing this one-liner, it just works. There's a reason why it's a pop culture touchstone. Number 5.
And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
I don't know if this is a one-liner before the kill or just an epic diatribe before the kill. It's not even a real Bible passage. This is just straight from Tarantino's strange mind. I do really appreciate how well this speech bookends Jules' big character moment in the film, so that's why it deserves to be high on this list. Number 4.
You're a terminated fucker.
Hydraulic Press Channel has got nothing on this. The tables have finally turned, and it's like everything in this movie has led to Sarah Connor saying this line. She terminated the Terminator. I like the Terminator franchise, and this is probably my favorite moment from any of the movies. This is the moment when Sarah Connor became a legend. Number 3.
This is Sparta!
Arguably one of the most iconic movie scenes of the 2000s. This phrase was everywhere at the time, no doubt because the movie was a huge phenomenon, but also because it spawned one of the catchiest memes ever conceived. I can't even listen to this line anymore without immediately hearing this song. Like the Spartans, this meme is ancient history by now, but the line itself never gets old. Number 2.
You've got to ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
This is another one that's up there as being one of the most quoted lines of dialogue in history. It's been parodied so many times that a lot of folks misquote it or forget that the line is basically a bluff, or at least it's set up as a bluff. Obviously, this time he wasn't bluffing. Eastwood is a terrifying badass in this movie, and this line pretty much solidified him as the king of the one-liner. I know this is a long list, but before we get to number 1, we've still got some honorable mentions to touch on. Here's a few lines that nearly made the cut.
Oh, boys! I'm back!
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last? I lied.
Long live the king.
You gotta cock it, motherfucker.
Welcome to slavery.
No thanks. I already had a wife.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die! Now!
Offer me money. Anything you want.
I want my father back, you son of a bitch.
Dying ain't much of a living, boy.
And number 1 is...
Hasta la vista, baby.
There was a time in pop culture where basically everything Arnold said became a massive pop culture moment. You bet this phrase was in the mouths and on the t-shirts of millions of 90s kids. According to T2 co-writer William Wisher, Hasta la Vista was just an offhand inside joke between him and James Cameron. They'd say it to each other before hanging up the phone. It ended up being the single line that defined this entire movie. Schwarzenegger has so many great one-liners, I almost included an Arnoldable mention section. What do you think? What did we miss? Who is the king of the one-liner? If it's not Schwarzenegger or Eastwood, who else? Let us know down below.
Fuck you too!